Hello everyone, welcome back to the Data Science Learning Series. This video is going to be about data preprocessing and exploratory data analysis. So whatever we have learned till today as part of this series, be it Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib or Seaborn, we utilize all our learnings together in this video. Throughout this video, we will use a real-world dataset and perform multiple data pre-processing techniques. And once that pre-processing is done, then we'll also try to identify the hidden patterns, identify the trends, identify the valuable insights which are present into that dataset. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so now let's understand that importance of data quality and why do we need to do the data pre-processing. So basically, performance of any machine learning model which you are going to develop depends heavily on the quality of data which you are going to use for the training. In case your data is not of high quality and it is a poor quality data, so that can lead to the inaccurate models, misleading conclusions and suboptimal decision makings. So that's the reason why you need to have a high quality data that should be accurate, complete and consistent, because otherwise if you're going to train a model with inaccurate data, and that's how your model will also perform in the real world scenarios. So that's why data quality is important. And when I say data quality, it means that it should have high accuracy, it should be complete, it should be consistent and it should be relevant of the problem which we are going to solve. In this video, we will be using Spotify Tracks dataset, and the link of that dataset is available here, which is available on Kaggle, which is in CSV format, and there are multiple columns which are available. And what we'll do is we'll try to have the data pre-processing done of this particular Spotify Tracks dataset, and also see if there are any patterns available or not in this particular dataset. So the very first thing which we'll do is we'll try to load all our libraries which we have learned till today: pandas as pd, numpy as np, matplotlib as plt and seaborn as sns. So I'll run this cell and then we'll start with the loading of this data set. So सबसे पहले since this is a CSV format data, so what I have done is I have downloaded this, and if I show you the downloaded format, so this is how this data set looks like, where you would have track ID, artist, album name, track name, popularity, and all these 21 columns which are available in this particular dataset is visible here. So the first thing what we'll do is we'll load this data frame into a variable named as df, and we'll see the first 5 rows of that data sets. So if I run this cell, there you see the first 5 rows have been displayed with all the values which are present into this data set. So now what I'll also try to do is we'll see how many records are there and how many columns are there in this particular. So to do that, we simply have to run this df.shape, and this will give us there are around 1,14,000 records and 20 columns which are available in this data set. And let's say I also want to see all the columns ki kaun sa column hai. I can simply make use of df dot columns, and there you will see all the columns starting with the track id till the track genre. You will see all this data set columns have been listed into this particular cell. Now let's say we also want to see कि इन सारे जो columns है उनका types क्या है. Simple thing you can do is df.types, and all the columns which are present into your data frame, it will give you the type of that. So there you see track ID is object, artist is object, popularity is 64, duration is again int 64, and there are few float available as well. Now let's consider you want to get the basic information of your dataset. You can also make use of df.info function, which will give all the basic information like these many entries are there, these are your indexes, these are your different columns, their types, and how many not null count are available in your datasets column. Now let's consider that you want to get the statistical summary of all your datasets integer values. So consider that popularity is my int 64, duration is of int 64, and then you also have time signature as int 64. All these values I want to get their statistical information. Then I can make use of df.describe function, and this will give all the statistical values starting from count. Okay, these are the number of records which you have. This is your maximum value, which is 100, minimum value is 0. What are their mean values, what are their standard deviation, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile पे क्या क्या values हैं, वो सारे values you'll be able to easily see for all the numerical columns which are there. It will definitely not work for the object columns like track ID in start is, so that's why those columns you are not seeing here, only the numerical columns we are seeing here. Moving on to the next section, which is to identify if there are any common data issues available or not. So common data issues में क्या क्या हो सकता है कि सबसे पहले हमें लेट्स फाइंड आउट करते हैं कि क्या कोई ऐसा भी कॉलम है जहाँ पे कि वैल्यूज़ मिसिंग है. सो टू डू दैट वी कैन सिंपली मेक यूज़ ऑफ डी एफ डॉट इज़ नल और उसका सम. तो मुझे नल जो वैल्यूज़ है किसी भी कॉलम में उसका मुझे सम बताओ. Then I'll see ki each column, in artist column there is one value where artist name is null, album name is null, and one there is one record where track name is null. So सबसे पहले हम let's say in cases of this, let's say you have a lesser number of records which have null values. In that case you can simply replace these values so that because anyways null values अगर है वहाँ पे तो ऐसे भी कुछ हेल्प नहीं करने वाला है वो मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल को. सो दैट्स वाई विल सिंपली डिलीट दिस कॉलम. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज़ df drop na एंड देन सबसेट में हम लोग पास करेंगे ट्रैक नेम एंड आर्टिस्ट में जहाँ पे भी इनका नल है एंड इन प्लेस ट्रू करना है कि उसको रिप्लेस कर देना है. एंड देन आई सिंपली रन दिस and then if I again run this cell df dot is null sn sum, then there you will see there are no columns where you have null values available. So this is how one of the techniques where you can simply find out the null values in any of the columns, and you if it is in the lesser side you can also replace or simply delete those rows. Moving on to the next section of data cleaning, where you want to see if there are any duplicate records available or not. So in cases of if you're training your model with this particular data set, again basically you should not use any duplicate columns, duplicate values, but so that's the reason why we are going to remove this duplicate rows which are available in my column. So to do that we can simply make use of df.duplicated.sum. So this will give key how many rows which are duplicate. So now which I have found is there are 450 rows in my given data set which had around 1,14,000 records. 450 records are duplicate. So again duplicate rows are not making any sense. So that's why what I'll do is I'll simply do drop duplicates, and once I do this and in place true, then this will go and drop all the duplicates or basically delete all the duplicates which you have. So I'll just simply run this, and now if I just simply do again verification, there will see there are 0 records which are duplicate. And if I want to see now what is that new shape of my data frame, there you will see 450 records have been removed, and now we have 1,13,549 records available in my data frame. Alright, so now our data set looks perfect, where we have handled all the duplicate values, we have handled the missing values. So now we will move on to the visualization part, which is nothing but the exploratory data analysis, where we'll try to identify and gain the insights which are available in the given data sets. So the very first thing what we'll do is we'll try to capture all the numerical features, numerical columns which are available in my data set, which are nothing but all these columns which you are seeing in this particular list. We'll loop through this list and we'll plot a subplot of 3 by 4, and then I ka value is starting from 1 to the number of items which are there in this numerical feature list. So if I run this cell, there you will see what I am doing is I am plotting a histogram plot from SNS, which is Seaborn, and I'm also adding KD equals to 2. KD is nothing but the line which I had explained in the previous video, which comes on your histogram chart. So there you will see key popularity, this is your count, duration, these are the count, danceability, these many counts are there. Similarly, all the numerical features which are available in the given data sets, what we have tried to do is we have tried to form a histogram plot and as well as the KD plot on that. So you can basically go through each one of them and then also try to understand if there are any trend which you are seeing. Let's say if I see the duration, so most of the songs are between 0 to 1 minute, and that's when we see them around 2500 songs are there. So this is how you can basically find out the multiple patterns in your given data sets. Moving on to the next plot, what we'll do is we'll try to find out the top 20 artists which are there. So we'll try to find the count how many songs are there for that particular artist, and we'll also see that into a given bar plot. So what we'll have to do is simply these things will remain common, where sometimes I'll use this 15 by 10 ka image, and then sometimes I'll use 12 by 6 or 8 by 4, so like that. So what I'll do is I'll also try to plot a count plot. Data would be this data frame, and I want only the 20. So order should be no, if you see the first colon and then 20, which means the last ka 20, once you do the order, and then give me the top 20 artists who have the more number of songs under their name. And again, hue is basically to add that color into your given bar plot. And once this particular plot is rendered, there you will see ki all the 20 artists have come, and their number of songs will also come. What we have also done in parallel is ki we have assigned that x level pe count of tracks, y level pe artist, and artist name will come. There is also one thing which is something called as tight layout. So whatever, sometimes what happens, there will be an overlap of words. In that case, if you use this tight layout, and that will not happen, and then plt dot show to show that matplotlib graph. So there you'll see these are my top 20 artists available in the given data set, where you have multiple artists like Stevie, Linkin Park, all these things, and their number of tracks which are available in the data set, where I see the most number of tracks is around, I think, more than 250, and that comes from the Beatles. And from the Linkin Park, around you have 220, or I think, yeah, 230 records which are there. Alright, so now let's see what is the distribution of different genre which is available in my dataset. Again, we'll do the same thing. sns.count plot will, instead of artist name, now I'll pass the track genre, which is the another column, and then other things will remain same. And now I want the last 25 different genre which is available, and hue would be track genre, and that's when the different color will be provided to my charts which are there. And there you'll see all the different genre which is available in my dataset, starting from rock or other different techno, and their number of tracks count can be seen here. Now let's see some other columns. So there is another column which is named as explicit, which basically means ki whether there are any explicit lyrics available on that particular track or not. So uska bhi count यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. And if I show you the column which simply says that ki there are some of them are false, some of them are true. So what we'll do is we'll again form a count plot on this explicit column, and we'll see how the data distribution looks like. Things will remain as it is, where I'm doing sns.count plot. Now instead of y, I want an x, and that's when you will see this graph is now in this format. If I put this as y, and then you will see the graph will become in the y direction. So you can basically play around and then find out different things of your different count plot which are available. Moving on to the next few columns, so let's also consider a couple of more columns. So we'll first consider this mode column. So if I again go back and show you the CSV file, so mode is either 0 or 1. So basically this is a minor or major mode. So based on that also we can find out the counts. So again I'll do the same thing. Count plot x equals to mode, data will remain same, and hue would be now mode. And there you will see what we have also done is we have also put this x level and y level, and there you will see x ka graph has been formed, where most of around some 40,000 are from 0 mode, which is a minor, and 1 is major, which is around 70,000 records are there. Same thing we can also do for the keys. So again, in music there are multiple keys which are available starting from 0 to 10, and their values you can see in these different charts. Again, we are using same sns.count plot, and rest all the things remain as it is. You just have to change the x level and y level and the title of your given graph. Moving on to the another column, so again there is something called as time signature, and if I want to know the distribution of different time signature of my given data set column, so that also you can basically make use of this sns.count plot and pass that variable as a x variable or y variable depending on your use case. You can pass the data frame, pass the color, hue, and then provide the x level, y level, and title of your given chart. Alright, so now moving on to the next section, where we'll try to draw a scatter plot between duration and popularity. So basically scatter plots are drawn whenever we have to deal with two parameters. So what we'll do is we'll take duration and we'll take the popularity, and then we'll form a scatter plot. So here what I have done is simply taken the first 100 records for both of the columns, and then we'll try to form a scatter plot and see how the distribution looks like. So there you'll see these are the different durations in milliseconds, and these are their popularity. So basically, as we see that basically in between 2 and 2.5 minutes, you'll see most of the songs are there, and that's when most of them are most popular as well. Then we can also see that the box plot of same thing. Okay, what is that distribution of popularity in a box plot? and I'll simply make use of sns.boxplot. Here I had made use of plt.scatter, and there I'll make use of sns.boxplot, and there you will see key 0 पे this is your minimum value, this is your maximum value, there are no outliers, and this is your mean value. Again for measure track के लिए this is your minimum, maximum, and this is your mean, and there are a couple of outliers also which can be seen into this. So now moving on to the again histogram which I had already shown initially. So we'll do key, we'll again essence dot histplot will do, we'll pass this popularity as one of the things, uh, one of the parameters, and then I want 20 bins, and I want the lining as well, which is kernel distribution graph as well. And if I run this, so there you will see in 20 different bins this particular distribution has been shown along with the popularity and their frequency. Now moving on to the another call chart. So one thing which I also wanted to show key in cases where you have categorical data and you want to show the pie chart, that also can be basically achieved. So pie chart is basically available in matplotlib. So what we'll do is plt.pie and then pass key how many counts I want, and label can automatically be taken by counts.index, and then there are few other optional parameters which you have to run. And then once we give that plt.axis equal, so that's when the ratio will be given, and then the equal graph will be formed for you. So once I run this, there you will see different keys which are available in my data set. So if I show you the keys, so 0 1 2 till 10, so all those keys ka value you will be able to see in a nice pie chart and their percentage wise distribution as well. Then let's say you want to also have the multivariant analysis done. So till now what we have done is we have done the analysis of one column, that is called as univariate. When you have two columns, where we kind of drawn this scatter plot where we had couple of columns duration and popularity, that's when we did that bivariate analysis. But now we are moving to the multivariant analysis where we will be using the multiple variables which are present into my data set, and then we'll do the analysis of that. So the very first thing what we'll do there is we'll try to form a heat map. So I can simply take all the numerical columns whose type is int64 and float64, and then kind of put into this particular list. Then I can use the correlation matrix, where I can simply use this CORR, which will give us the correlation matrix, and then I can plot a heat map passing that correlation matrix, and then some of the other optional parameters. And then if I plot this, there you will see all the parameters which are basically the numerical parameters, and their multiple key popularity versus popularity is 1, and then popularity versus duration is 0.1. So all these things you can see easily in a correlation matrix, where you can have a analysis done of a single column to the all other columns which are present in your data frame. Now if you also remember that we had also learned about pair plot. So again we'll take all the numerical columns, and then we'll try to form a pair plot of that. And again we'll not take all the values which are present, we'll only take the first 50 values, and then we'll do the diagonally KDE plot. And if I run this, there you will see the pair plot for all this particular column. So popularity, danceability, energy, valence, tempo, so all of these you can see. And then since I have written here diagonal kind would be KD, so all of these are coming as KD, and rest all of them are the scattered plot. Now we'll see how does this stacked bar look like. So in case we also want to see no, I want to plot a stack bar. So again I have taken this time signature popularity index, and then I'm forming a stacked bar based on the different time signatures which are available in a given chart. So this is again similar to what you have for the this bar plot. You can also make use of this stacked bar to form this. You can also make use this color to change the color depending on your situation, depending on your use case. Moving on to the last plot which we are going to do is again the KD plot. Again this plot is also explained. So danceability pay, what we are going to do is we are trying to form a KD plot, and if I run this, there you will see this entire plot has been done. Basically the duration of basically the danceability is from 0.6 का danceability का सबसे ज़्यादा density का song है, and that's what you can basically see in your different songs, different tracks which are available. So what at the last we'll also do is we'll also see a word cloud. So wordcloud is again a great tool to find out कि what are the different distributions and what are the major distributions which are available of any textual columns which are there in my data set. So उसके लिए सबसे पहले you have to install this word cloud. So you can simply run this cell and then the word cloud will be installed in your local environment, and then you will be able to use this word cloud. So one thing which we have to write is कि from word cloud import word cloud, and then join all the kind of string columns which are there, not the numerical columns, so that you have to see key which has the more number of occurrences in your data set. So what I'll do is key I'll try to find out key which artist has more number of uh, you know uh, occurrences in my data set. So I'll do artist, give me all the artist name, join in a data set, and then form a word cloud for that. So width would be 800, height would be 800, background color I want it as a white, and then click on generate. Then again these are just for the plotting part, and then if I run this, so there you will see key these are the artist names whose songs are in more numbers in the given data frame. You can also make use of key which is that album name whose which is more in my data frame. Then I can simply pass this here as album name, and there you will see key these are the different albums whose songs or number of songs are more in or more dominating in my given data frame. Alright, so with that we have completed the exploratory data analysis and data pre-processing of the Spotify data sets. I hope कि आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा होगा. So please don't forget to like this video, leave a comment on this video, and also share this video with your friend or anyone else who might be interested in learning data science. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.